Most of you probably never even saw Larry Bird play. And honestly, that's wild, because anybody who did watch Larry Bird knows exactly why his name still comes up in every greatest of all time conversation. When people talk about the scariest NBA players ever, names like Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant usually come up first. But there's one player who absolutely belongs in that same tier, and that's Larry Bird. His combination of elite skill, unshakable confidence, and ruthless trash talk made him one of the most intimidating opponents the league has ever seen. Today, we're breaking down NBA legends who openly admitted, or clearly showed, that Larry Bird had them shook. David Robinson. First on the list is David Robinson. Robinson entered the NBA in the late 1980s as a physical specimen. Standing 7 feet 1 inch tall, he had an unbelievable mix of size, speed, and agility. From the moment he joined the San Antonio Spurs, he established himself as a dominant force on both ends of the floor. In his rookie season, Robinson wasted no time making an impact, averaging elite numbers and earning NBA Rookie of the Year honors. But his value went far beyond stats. He elevated his teammates and instantly turned the Spurs into a legitimate contender. Over the course of his career, Robinson continued to rack up accolades. He was selected to the NBA All-Star Team 10 times, won the 1995 NBA MVP award, and led the Spurs to 2 NBA championships in 1999 and 2003. By every measure, he was one of the greatest big men ever. But even at his peak, Robinson came across players who challenged him in ways few others could, and Larry Bird was one of them. In an interview, when Robinson was asked about the toughest or most memorable players he ever faced, Larry Bird's name stood out immediately. Robinson said, "I would probably say Larry Bird. A lot of young folks might not really remember him, but that man was a magician. He wasn't the greatest athlete, but he had the heart of a lion." Robinson admitted that playing against Bird was an eye-opening experience. Bird's confidence, intelligence, and competitiveness pushed him to another level. It wasn't just the skill, it was the mentality. Bird made Robinson think, "That's the standard. That's what I want to compete against every day." Gary Payton. Next up is Gary Payton, a.k.a. The Glove. Payton's basketball journey began at Oregon State University, where he quickly became known for his elite defense and relentless intensity. From his freshman year onward, it was clear he was special. By his sophomore and junior seasons, Payton had taken over games on both ends of the floor. He led Oregon State deep into the NCAA tournament and became known as one of the best defensive guards in college basketball history. In the NBA, Payton built a reputation as one of the fiercest trash talkers the league had ever seen. He didn't back down from anyone, not even Michael Jordan. But when it came to Larry Bird, Payton admitted something surprising. Gary Payton said Larry Bird was on a completely different level. Larry Bird was just good. Really, really good. Payton admitted that Bird was actually a more vicious trash talker than he ever was. According to Payton, Bird would tell you exactly what he was about to do, and then do it anyway. Bird would announce the shot, the move, and the spot on the floor, and still score. That kind of confidence messed with defenders mentally. Payton respected that Bird didn't just talk, he backed up every word. Dominique Wilkins. Third on the list is Dominique Wilkins, better known as the Human Highlight Film. Wilkins grew up in North Carolina and later starred at the University of Georgia, where his athleticism and scoring ability made him one of the most exciting players in college basketball. His high-flying dunks and aggressive style carried over into a Hall of Fame NBA career with the Atlanta Hawks. But Wilkins had some unforgettable battles with Larry Bird, especially in the playoffs. Wilkins recalled that the very first time Bird trash-talked him was during his rookie season. Bird didn't wait. From the opening moments, he was in Wilkins' ear. One matchup that stood out was during the 1986 NBA playoffs, when the Hawks faced the Celtics. Bird relentlessly taunted Wilkins, questioning his game, challenging his confidence, and talking non-stop. Every time Wilkins touched the ball, Bird was right there, whispering, provoking, and pushing buttons. But just like Payton, Wilkins admitted that whatever Bird said he was going to do, he did it. That was the scariest part. The trash talk wasn't empty. It was a warning. Patrick Ewing. Next is Patrick Ewing. Born in Jamaica and raised in the U.S., Ewing became a star at Georgetown University under legendary coach John Thompson Jr. He led the Hoyas to multiple NCAA championship games and later became the #1 overall pick in the 1985 NBA draft by the New York Knicks. Ewing and Bird developed one of the most intense rivalries of the era. Knicks versus Celtics was war. The games were physical, emotional, and brutally competitive. At first, their relationship was strictly business, pure rivalry. But over time, something unexpected happened. Ewing revealed that he and Bird eventually became friends. They started talking trash, then hanging out, going to dinner, and spending time together off the court. Their mutual respect grew as they recognized each other's basketball IQ and dedication. Even as friends, though, Ewing admitted Bird was still the best trash talker he ever faced. Magic Johnson. Another legend on the list is Magic Johnson. Magic and Bird's rivalry started before the NBA, back in college. Michigan State versus Indiana State. Magic versus Bird. That 1979 NCAA championship game changed basketball forever. Once they entered the NBA, the rivalry only intensified. Lakers versus Celtics became the league's biggest showdown. Magic admitted that while he and Bird respected each other off the court, on the court it was pure hatred. Bird used trash talk as a psychological weapon, and Magic said it worked. In one famous moment, Bird told Magic, "I'm going to wait until you take one step away, and then I'm going to shoot it right in your face." Magic stepped back. Bird drilled the shot, exactly as promised. Charles Barkley. Then there's Charles Barkley. Barkley was loud, physical, fearless, and not someone easily intimidated. But even he admitted Larry Bird talked trash to everybody. One classic moment happened when Bird told Barkley, "Y'all are being disrespectful putting a white guy on me." Then he added, "There's not a white guy on this planet who can guard me." Barkley couldn't even be mad, he laughed, because Bird backed it up. John Stockton. John Stockton, one of the greatest point guards ever, also had a Larry Bird moment he never forgot. During Stockton's rookie year, Bird casually walked by the Jazz bench and said, "I feel like 43 tonight." By the third quarter, Bird had already scored 43 points, exactly like he said. Stockton realized right then, this guy isn't just confident. He's different. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Finally, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. One of the most accomplished players in NBA history, Kareem said the toughest player he ever faced might have been Larry Bird. He explained that people underestimate Bird because of how he looked, but Bird wore teams down mentally. He did everything: scoring, passing, rebounding, stealing. Kareem summed it up best. The muscle between his ears was the strongest. And there you have it, NBA legends who were genuinely intimidated by Larry Bird. If you enjoyed this breakdown, click one of the videos on your screen.